When you are counting your enemies, count yourself twice if you do the following things. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Jen. Now, on this episode, I want to show you how you can sabotage your own life, especially family and marital life, if you do the following things. Most people are only looking for people who have made them fail, but they fail to look at themselves. And that's why I said that if you're looking for enemies, if you're counting your enemies, count yourself twice. I have seen people through the 4 years that I've been running this show. I have seen people who expect that somehow a miracle will happen from heaven and drop a candidate and ask them to marry them. Nothing can be further from the truth. And I'm speaking to single people. If you are single, you will have to take responsibility. You see, what we are doing here, for instance, is an act of shared responsibility. If you are single and you are searching, nobody will ever know unless you let them know. There are so many people, beautiful women, handsome men out there, people who have pre-planned their lives, people who have done well in life, but little do they know that whatever you don't market never sells. This is a marketplace. And when you come to the marketplace, it is upon you to understand that you have to take active responsibility. You know, every faith, any kind of faith that leaves the responsibility of work entirely to God is an irresponsible faith. Any faith that does not believe in responsibility or responsible living cannot be counted on. So there are so many people who have been following me, maybe for the 4 years that I have been running this show. Somebody has never been posted, but you will see them in the comment section saying, "Oh, I have been here following, I have never gotten a match." Wait a minute. If you have never been posted, how do you get a match? If you've never approached us, how do you get a match? And you know, when we post people here, we post their contacts out there for as many as of those who are interested to reach out. Somebody has never reached out to any of those candidates, at least to drop a message. But you hear them saying that, "Oh, I have never gotten a match." You have to do something. Things don't happen. In my book, Go Get It, I wrote that book in 2017. The book was written in 2015. Research was done in 2015, written down in 2016, published and launched officially in 2017. And the message is very clear that things don't just happen. Things are made to happen by fire, by force, by fire, by thunder. Things only work for workers. And behind everything that is working, there is somebody at work. There's somebody who is single out there. They don't do nothing. They do nothing to ensure that they change the status quo. They want to maintain status quo and at the same time complain that, "Oh, I've been following, I've never gotten a match, nobody notices me." You see, these days, and in this era where people are taking good care of themselves, you can't know who is married and who is not by just looking at them. You know, they don't have a marriage meter. You cannot read them from far. You cannot say this one is married, this one is not. You cannot tell who is who. So you have to play your part. You have to do your shared part. Are we together? So that every other time you say, "I have enemies," you can count yourself twice and say, "By the way, I have failed on this one." And you see, the moment we begin to understand change is the moment we begin to understand that change begins with responsibility. I have overseen more than 7,000, I think 8,000 now. We even lost count, but we keep count. We keep on receiving testimonies every day. For the 4 years that I've been running this show, officially, we have registered more than 8,000 marriages. 8,000 marriages. Those are 1,600 couples, singles who made couples. And then those marriages are also coming with children. There are those who are coming with children, and there are those that are coming without children. And it is an interconnection because this family connects with this family connects with this family. It's a network that we are building. Join the stampede. Are we together? Another thing, fear is of the devil. You see, God doesn't use fear for people. Fear is an emotion that even God Himself hates. God doesn't work with fearful people. Gaida hudhiraga iguoya. Hivyo ni kama kusema Mungu hatumiangi waoga. Mungu hatumiangi waoga. I have told people here, we even simplified the methodology of working. When we post people here, there is even an option where people are posted anonymously without mentioning their numbers, without mentioning their contacts, without mentioning where they're coming from specifically. You can even say Central Kenya. You can classify where you're coming from in terms of provinces. as according to our old constitution. You can say, I'm coming from Nyanza province, I'm coming from Central province, I'm coming from, let's say, Western province, Eastern province, Coast province, and then the person you have identified will get in touch with you and you will see what can be done. Are we together? Whatever you're looking for is also looking for you. There are so many people who are looking for somebody like you. It doesn't matter. You can be posted today, you can be posted tomorrow, you can be posted the day after tomorrow. Okay? And I believe that at the end of the day, if you do not market something, nobody gets the privilege to buy, because you've seen even vehicles that are on sale. If you meet it on the road, it doesn't have a mark, it doesn't have a sign that this vehicle is on sale. How will you know? You can't tell. But once they put on a sticker, people begin to call, hey, I have an offer. They begin to bid. So how are people going to bid for your singlehood, and then you have never ever advertised yourself? Finally, okay, and also we have the private connection. We have the VIP. If you do not want to be associated with people who get posted, you can reach out to us. You see the numbers you can see on your screens. Yeah, 0712 997 660, and then we will see what we can be able to do. Finally, I have sat down and I think I'll do a video on the top 6 regrets that most people have. I have done a comprehensive analysis of the regrets that most people have, especially after 60. After 60, sometimes after 50. These regrets are regrets that, I would have done this instead of this. And top one on the list is the regret of, I wish I did this earlier. Because some of you think that you still have time. But who doesn't want somebody while they still have the energy? Who doesn't? You are 70, you have the energy. Why wait until you're 80? You are 60, why wait until you're 70? You are 50, why wait until you're 60? You are 50, why wait until you're 60? You are 40, why wait until you're 60? You are 30, why wait until you're 40? You are 20 something, why wait until you're in your 30s? Early to rise, early to shine. Look at even in professional football. There is a certain age you cannot enlist for professional football. After a certain age, you are not eligible for enlistment, because the earlier you rise, the earlier you shine. I think in your 40s, you cannot enlist for professional football. Even for athletics, like running, you see these people who run in athletics. After a certain age, you cannot enlist. And you see, marriage is not my idea. Some people see Jenganjeru running a matchmaker show. And this matchmaking show has been in existence for the last 4 years. And then somebody thinks that, Jenga is having a great idea. Marriage is not my idea. Marriage is God's original idea. And whether you like it or not, whether you live in the city or in the bush, whether you live in the village or in the city, whether you live in a mansion, in a palace, or in a shanty, marriage will be knocking on your door. The question is, will you open? Will you open? Some of you have been hurt in the past, and you're made to believe that everyone else hurts women, every else hurts men. The choices are yours to make, but choices have consequences. If you don't want to stay alone, if you don't want to be alone, if you don't want to spend the rest of your life alone, if you're 50, for instance, and God decides to give you 100 years, imagine you've just lived 50 and then you have another 50. All that loneliness, and you can get a match. So if you don't do anything and then you start counting enemies, count yourself how many times? Marangapi? I'll see you in the next video.